Hello to everyone listening in. This is Dino Mike back again with the Grinders podcast, which is hosted by me and Noob. Before we get the podcast started, I thought I'd go over how the SPL is doing right now. So I play for the Denver Omelets with Noob Weapons on my team, and our guest today plays for the Burgers, but Renard's going to laugh when he hears this. I meant to say the Baguettes. I think Renard was on the Burgers in Season 1, the placement season, but this is Season 2 for Pro Division, and he is not a Burger. He is on the Baguettes. That's my fault, Renard. Sorry, I did this really quick. I thought I'd go over some stat leaders and some positioning of the standings before we get into our normal podcast. So, as you can see, the Denver Omelets right now are leading the charge. Our team 6-0 at 12 points. Then you have the Smokers, Clappers, Express, Sale, Burgers, Baguettes, and Hootenannies. Now, my guess is that the Baguettes are going to do a lot better in the coming weeks. I think they've had a really unfortunate start, but if you look at their games, you'd see that a lot of them are very close. They only lost by 1 to a complete Clappers team. They've had some other 1-goal game versus the Smokers. Not a good game versus the Burgers. 2-goal game versus us. 3-goal game versus the Express. I think this team is the team to really look out for to pick it up. And same with the Clappers. Their only loss was to our team being down. I'm sorry. Their only loss was to us being down Meat Sale because he couldn't make the game. So what they did is they played Lazy Trout in his place. And I think it shows how much or how important team chemistry is for this game, because I don't think the Clappers lose that game if Meat Sale is in. But, you know, it's how good Meat Sale is, too. Credit where credit is due. So we're going to go over the top stat leaders in the Pro Division now. We have Rodeo with 29. Mr. MVP himself continuing that crazy run he's got. We have Meat Sale with 24. Not really surprising, in only 5 games, too, which is incredibly impressive, but that's Meat. He just pots them. Cocky Walrus, which is a guy I had in my top 5 for the NSL Season 2 draft, who I had drop all the way to 20 in our recent rankings. I think he'd go all the way back up to a top 10 player after looking at these stats. He's got 21 goals on the Smokers. We have myself, with 19 on a very good Omelets team right now. I'm not producing where I should be, but 19 is still nothing to sneeze at. That's basically 3 goals a game, so definitely what the team needs to succeed. And then you have Walster with 18 on the Baltimore Burgers. So Walster's a player who continues to score a lot despite his team not doing well. He's got a very high shooting percentage. Probably one of the best shooters in the game. So, I mean, I didn't include him in our top 20, but maybe he does deserve to be there. He seems to be someone who can score no matter where he's, playing or who he's playing with. He seems to just be able to pot it. So with assist leaders now, we're going to go with 21 for K-Spire on the goal-leading Smokers team with the most goals in the entire league. We have Panarin with 18, Rodeo with 16, Dream with 13, and Seppi with 13. Tied with our boy Scods with 13. Then in points, you see the leaders are Rodeo, Panarin, Meat Sale, K-Spire, and Cocky Walrus. They're obviously 5 very, very talented players here, and I honestly am not surprised by this. I think Meat Sale would be here too if he had more games played. I'm actually surprised that I don't see him here. He must not have a lot of assists. I thought he had maybe more than unless I'm missing his name. I don't. Oh no, never mind. He's right here. I was gonna say, where is Meat Sale? He has a ton of points. So Meat Sale did make the top. That's my fault. Now we're gonna go with the all-important impact rating, which shows how players are doing on their teams, and it's kind of it's not the best rating system, but it includes saves, which I'm not going to go over. I don't find saves as important. I feel like the more saves you have, the more the puck's in your own end. That's not necessarily a great thing. But impact rating wise, we have Rodeo, Meat Sale, Red Pierre, who's only played 1 game, so I don't really count that. Panarin, K-Spire, and Cocky Walrus. So really the top 5 players right now are Rodeo, Meat Sale, Panarin, K-Spire, and Cocky Walrus for team performance, which is obviously very impressive for the Smokers to really be taking over this list, and the Clappers, of course. We're going to move on now to the Open Division, where I'd like to get a nice look at that. We have in first the Pepe Tactics with 8 points, tied with Columbus Clompers with 8 points. The Kansas City Cyclone in third, the Pyongyang Fried Chickens, Nashville Knights, Coyotes, Yetis, Clucks, Cows, Wrath, and Ogres. The Ogres still, once again, are having trouble getting those wins. I really hope they're able to pick it up and get a few at least. It's cool to see the Clappers team doing as well as they are. It's also cool to see the Pepe Tactics doing as well as they are. We obviously want the teams that are being moved to Pro Division to be able to compete, and I think these two teams would definitely compete. It's nice to see how good Timmy's been doing. He's really picked up his play and turned into a great player, along with Kyler. So credit to where credit is due. My boy Tyrant, Mr. Offense himself, is on the team with Duker, Min, and Domicus, or Domicus, I don't know, something like that. But it's very impressive how they're doing. Let's go over the Open Division stats real quick. So as you can see, in first we have for goals Duker with 24, huge gap there. Johnny with 17, that's Kim Jong. Tyrant K with 13, Donut with 12, and Reek with 12. Then for assists, we have 18 for Dami, 10 for Kim Jong, 9 for Brady, 9 for Northern, and 9 for Rick. And then points-wise, obviously be similar names here: Duker, Dami, Johnny, Tyrant, and Brady. Look at how good Brady's doing. Our boy from last season played with the Fishermen. For shooting percentage, Underdog has 3 goals on 3 shots in the one game he played. Just a quick look for you guys, and then let's do impact rating. We have Johnny, Kim Jong with the highest impact rating for his team, Duker, Shiba, this Chow guy, who I don't know who that is, and Domicus. Chow has 11 saves, that's why he's up here. So it looks like his team, the Coyotes, are spending too much time in their own zone, but still. So that's just basically the recap I wanted to go over. For my 3 stars of the week, I think it's going to be heavily on the Smokers because they've scored a lot of goals for the Pro Division, and I wouldn't be surprised for the Open Division if you see more Clompers. And obviously Fried Chickens in that top 3 of the week. So thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. This is Dino Mike signing out.
Hey, this is Chef Reno, and you're now listening to the Grinders Podcast.
Welcome back to the Grinders Podcast with me and Noob. Today, our guest is our JSL teammate, Richmond Wrecker, Renard.
Hey, hi, Dino. Hi, Noob. What's up?
Hey, Renard.
Good to see you guys.
Yes, and it's finally good to get you on the podcast. So, doing an intro for you, we'd like to hear your thoughts on your entirety in Slapshot 1 before we start, and how you found the game.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, it's been almost a year now. I used to play Rocket League, and I'm actually a Rocket League caster in Quebec. And there's a guy who just sends me a free hockey game. I didn't have the time to actually play the game. And a month afterwards, I actually tried it with my little brother. He didn't stick around for obvious reasons, but I did. And, you know, I've seen a post about the draft and all that stuff. I just, whatever, I like hockey, I like the game. Afterwards,
okay.
And that's the important part, I used to grind pugs because there were pugs even in April.
Yeah.
And there's 2 guys in the same game that I've played against. I mean, I was with CC, our next GM actually, and there was Pattern on the other side. And when I scored 3 goals on Pattern, which happened probably once in my entirety of my career in Slapshot, CC signed me off. And that's how I actually got to the league and why I actually got to play with.
To quickly add to that, you were the first one to play Pugs between me and Noob. I think, right, Noob? You hadn't really touched it yet.
Well, Actually, Pugs is where I met Renard.
Oh, okay.
Renard was sitting in the lobby of their of the Pug Discord as it was back then before it got integrated into the Slapshot Discord. But Renard was in the lobby, and I was thinking, I'll go and say hi, how's it going? Because I hadn't seen him before. And then we just started talking about stuff.
That's crazy.
I mean,
I actually didn't know that.
I remember meeting Noob once in a game. I didn't speak to him. I was with my little brother actually, and you know, you destroyed us completely, but we never spoken. I was almost starstruck because at the time the only two names that I knew for sure, they were Noob Weapons
and Panarin.
And believe it or not, Scott, because he was the only French guy at the time that had like that was the most well known.
He's still good too. Yeah,
I mean,
still very good.
Yeah, it's still relevant. And FSI at the time I didn't know him.
Got you.
And which is kind of odd. That, you know, ironically, since he's considered again as a top 10 player. Yeah, man. I mean, we met once and you destroyed us, and I think you still do with like so many hours, like 1,000. Crazy, man.
Yeah, I got a few hours.
That's an understatement.
Few
That's
thousand.
one of the most. That's one of the most commonly asked questions I get, to be honest.
So yeah, I mean that's my beginnings in Slapshot right now. It's been a roller coaster for sure. There's so many leagues, but yeah.
I thought after that intro that we'd move into our JSL talk, but I thought we'd start by just kind of all watching.
That was crazy, man.
But yeah, no, that's what I want. I want us all to watch this YouTube video quick together. It's the overtime goals that we scored during the regular season. I know we've watched it before, but I think it'd be fun to watch it one more time. So if you guys want to all click on it, yeah, and let me know when you're all on the page, and we'll all click start at the same time. I'm gonna mute it, or put it really low because it's gonna come through the recording. And there's okay, you guys ready?
No, I'm late.
All right, Noob.
Okay.
You're
yeah, I'm on the page.
Okay.
I'm just at the.
Okay, you guys both ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. So the first one is Renard scores a clutch OT goal to make the Wreckers 15-0. We were down 6-3. Is this the game where they dumped on us the whole game?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They just dumped it on us all game, but they kept putting it in our net, and it's frustrating that when that happens, they just keep throwing it down.
There it is. The talk.
Yo, and I was definitely shaking. There's a cameo by Gauzy, by the way, in this game. That was crazy. That was awesome.
This is the one, Renard, where me and you both pushed it, if you remember.
Oh, I do.
I'll be putting this in the video, by the way, so everyone else can watch with us, but... Oh my god, here it is.
If I'm not mistaken, it's the night that I had... Yes! Oh my god. I think that's the night that my dog actually died.
Oh, that
and you
one,
still
that
played.
overtime one.
And I did play. Yeah, I mean, that was a tough one.
We did a send-off, a proper send-off.
That was such a tough game. That was the... Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, I just want to say to the guys, Super Duper Kyle especially, that was a very, very tough night for me. I did say some things before the game that I do regret till this day.
We all did.
and we all do, I think. However, there were no excuses.
We got no respect. Let's just be honest, though.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine, and he's a cool guy. They are cool guys, anyways, and
But that's why we did it.
The game is sick, but yeah, we won the game, and I think that's what gave us the strength to do it. And all that frustration and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as much as we want to push it away, like it didn't matter. Like everyone else kind of drove us. Everyone drove us to be more competitive. You know what I mean? Because they just made us hungrier to finish undefeated.
Dude, it mattered so bad.
Yeah,
I think it was the last game of the season. I think it was the last one before the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. That
might have been.
That was one of the last ones before the playoffs. Yeah,
but we
went 28-0.
Like, open division
With the
now, no
playoffs.
one really is ripping on any of those guys. If anything, we're kind of rooting for the Clompers to win, you know what I mean? Since it's, like, supposed to be the next generation. But you think about, we got
Open
no
division,
respect.
right.
It was basically like Dino and Noob suck and Renard sucks. That was, like, the whole...
Yeah.
That's what people thought of us. And then,
Yeah,
like,
all Mike can do is hold the puck on his backhand and push W.
But yeah, I think you gotta look at the bigger picture right now and see where you both are. Noob, obviously, you're taking a step back for the infamous new Slapshot game, and for Dino, I mean, you became a GM. You make decisions that are absolutely giving a chance to the new generation to come forward.
yeah.
And I think people recognize that. And I mean, right now you're in everyone's top 5.
We had to earn that, though.
You
All
should
of us.
be.
All of us had to earn our stripes in a different way. You had to prove
And we
yourself
did,
too,
and we
yeah.
and you know what? We actually did, not by the JSL season, but I think that I don't want to flex or anything, all right?
Oh, here we go.
When,
He's flexing.
no, it was just incredible. Like,
Yeah.
there were some decent teams for sure. Obviously, all the pieces fell together with you and Noob. Just great chemistry all around. But you just, I mean, the Clappers have the best team. They have had the best team for so long. I mean, they never did it. It's just pure luck and pure skill for at some point. Well,
Oh, you mean like them winning all the championships, right?
I mean, yeah, for sure.
It's like
they're
us.
clutch. Like
Yeah.
they lose by four goals and they go back. They did it with the baguettes. They always do. Like, that is
Yeah.
their strength. They are never giving up.
But that's how we felt, right?
And the worst part is, like, the Clappers. I mean, when they're in voice chat and stuff, like, it's not serious. It's just having fun. They're having a fuck blast. Even when they own goal, they laugh about it every time, and I think that's why you must look up to them, and that's what we did for the most part as well in JSL season 1.
Yeah, that's what I
And
was gonna say.
Kept it together.
Noob, you like that 32-0. Like, as good as we were, there's always some luck in that too. Like, you
Yeah,
have
there
to,
really is.
you have to be good to be lucky, and lucky to be good is pretty much my favorite quote, because it certainly applied to us when we're winning 3 overtimes. You know what I mean? By the clutches of. Oh man, it was just really
They
intense.
were not all blowouts. They were not all
No,
blowouts. Like,
see, yeah, people
by
thought we
no
were
point.
stomping, but we had some tight games in
We really
JSL.
Even our
Oh, sorry.
playoff series against the Colorado Clucks was also really tight as well. That one tightened more and more as the games went on. It ended in an overtime victory to send us to the finals.
Yeah.
and I think, and I want to talk about someone,
Go ahead.
but Jack.
Yes.
I thought.
Did we lose Renard?
You know,
Oh, there he is.
like, Domsey was supposed to play, and I came in.
Yeah.
They were 2 reserved. There was me, and there was Jack.
Yeah. And it was good to have them both. Both of you guys. It really helped us, with depth.
It really did.
And he actually stuck around, grinded and grinded without getting any ice time, because I was there and I was winning. But I mean, in the bigger picture again, you look at me and you look at Jack. I mean, I picked Jack. I would pick Jack instead of me for sure, and he's stuck around. Anyway, I think that's the word. Jack must be looked at as technically as a team player. He doesn't pass. Yeah, whatever.
No, he does.
But he's a great team player, and yeah, he does. That's the worst part. And you know what? When he actually played in the finals, it was detrimental to, like, when Noob had to fit in for Delvage. I mean, incredible. Just the perfect organization we had. We had that in SLs and GSL season with the Wreckers and the Slapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a love story for my team.
Yeah, and what I think, and I wanted to add this and make sure I put this in, our JSL run was so great. Noob can attest this, because in that season 1 of JSL, people didn't really know who was going to be good and who wasn't, and we ended up playing some GMs, some future All-Stars, Meat Sale a few times,
Yep.
Like we
Yep,
played a little bit of everyone, and honestly, that's what I thought made the 32-0 so impressive. Is it's not like current JSL where you kind of know who's gonna be at the top and towards the bottom. Like it was just like that Dino guy might be okay. Noob Weapons, he didn't get picked. He's probably gonna suck. You know what I mean? Like that's what people had thought, and then. It's fun going in and making our own destiny, really, where we didn't have like any predictions or anything. We made it just our own. I guess I don't know is the best way to put it.
It was one game at a time for so long before we actually started to say, hey, we might actually do it. Like, go just winning, no loss. And we didn't even speak about the playoffs. Like, there was no way on earth that we would
didn't have
go. I mean,
remember?
winning every game is just not.
Noob was in the NSL season finals though, so we didn't have him.
Yeah. We weren't even going into the season expecting, okay, we're gonna win every game. We were just going in, okay, we're gonna play and see how we do. And it's like, Domsey's not here, so we gotta plug Renard in. It's like, Renard, you gotta play tonight if Domsey doesn't show up, even though Renard had just been signed to the team and he was playing earlier that
level
night.
14.
You were playing earlier that day, so you were available, so we had to use you. And we won all 3 games that night, so we figured, you know what, let's stick with Renard. And it worked out pretty well. We weren't expecting to win every single game that season, especially the playoffs.
But I think that the players do appreciate it more now that there have been many more seasons, a few scandals, and all that stuff. So I mean, I do think that in the end it doesn't really matter. We're all happy about it, and everyone does, acknowledge that happened. It's now part of history of the Slapshot, and I think Mike has something to show us.
That is. I already posted it in the chat, but that's for you guys after we do questions. I just kind of wanted to have it set and ready for when we do.
You're right.
There's a handful. If you guys want to add anything about JSL, I think we really talked enough about it. But I mean,
JSL never got the appreciation it should have from the majority of the player base, because it was a place for players to develop into the all-stars of the future. You wouldn't have your guys like your Kyles or your Wraths or your Mikes without JSL to
honestly,
really help them develop.
That was actually an incredible point, because thinking back on it, right when I didn't get picked for NSL, I honestly wasn't going to play the game anymore. I was just going to find something else, because I'm like, well, I guess I'm not good enough. I had a few GMs tell me they were going to get me, and nobody did. If I wasn't taken for JSL, I probably would have never kept playing the game. Like, it was fun, but like when I got into to the competitive side of it, I realized like how much better it was than NHL, and why I retired right from NHL after I got picked. Like, it was just the easier choice. So
yeah, and I mean the game itself, the bigger difference between now and then, like we have 2 leagues, right? People are getting more involved. The newer players are making noise as well. There's an open division, and everybody's given a chance to actually prove themselves at the right category. And I don't feel like there's much disdain for the players right now, unlike when we actually had a JSL. Well, JSL was getting
exactly
bad at. So I do get the point right there.
Yeah,
I think that's legit.
I said that a few minutes ago, that like we didn't get any respect, and like it sucked, because now in open division, like people kind of care, like, you know what I mean, like there's some actual care for it, and it's nice, because there should be, because those are some of the guys who are gonna be in the pro division next season. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like you don't know what's gonna happen, to be honest, and I'm glad we're moving towards that. And if the game continues to grow, I hope they add another division. I hope we just keep adding. You know?
And the SCS as well. We must talk about that. That league is.
I don't know if Mike wants to talk about SCS.
Wait. It's funny though. The only team we beat was Panarin's team. We lost to everybody else. I don't even know how that's possible.
I mean that kind of happens, but there's so much diversity in the teams right now. I was at first drafted by Chef Reno. That was with Cloud Goggle and dream, if I'm not mistaken.
Cloud Goggler, yeah.
There was so many more options. Why Cloud
Cloud Goggle.
Goggle.
We're gonna call him that for now.
I apologize for that.
Cloud Goggler, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this league in itself, it's not pre-made. It's like the alternate to
it's
the,
like it's like NSL, right? It's basically the NSL replacement. I do think
but all
it's
the
fun.
teams have a chance at winning a few games. Like I don't feel like there's much disadvantage, and I think that we could see some surprises on the long run for sure.
I think the tough I do think SES is good. I think the tough part of it right now is we're all kind of hungry for Slap 2. So like it's tough. I don't know, maybe it's easier for you to like have a different option of something to play, but like for me it's just a little bit too much. I think I probably I don't know. I shouldn't have GM'd.
I mean, I haven't won a single game in both leagues this season right now. Myself on the ice. So, and that's I don't want to talk about that part.
See, Noob took his break. Noob's literally.
I have a good question for you.
I'm undefeated in SPL without going onto the ice.
He's cheerleading.
Yeah, I'm the greatest cheerleader.
Mike, do you regret a choice that you've made?
Well, I don't want to speak on it in a poor way because everybody knows what Hellhaunt's dealing with right now.
I don't, and I actually don't want to know, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, Hellhaunt can't play right now, so if I could have made the pick over again, I would have. But I mean, obviously not having a third that could play, I had to kind of rely on guys that didn't get chosen. Granted, I think Timmy's a good player, and I also think
Timmy's a guy I think
he's underappreciated.
He's actually gotten really good really quickly.
I think the problem is, though, me, Tyrant, and Timmy and Oscar aren't meshing well. I mean, but that's the fun of it, right? That's the whole point of playing SES. To play with people you probably wouldn't. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyrant's a good player, Timmy's a good player, Oscar's a good player. We just don't have any chemistry. I mean, it's just as simple as that. I mean, we're scoring some goals, but we're getting killed in the long run. But, you know, maybe that'll change in the next pool play. I don't know.
Would you pick Ocelot if you could?
Yeah. No, I think I would have went with Ocelot. Nothing against Tyrant or anything. I feel like we're not playing well together. Maybe we don't complement each other as well as I thought. Maybe we're too much of the same player, in a way.
I mean, Tyrant K is about to be a star in a few weeks for sure. He's definitely my top one prospect, and I think he's on everyone's list as well. So that was not a bad pick. And I think that's what separates SES from other leagues. So people gave a chance to other players to showcase their skills and stuff. That's amazing.
Maybe we're just not playing well as a team, but I mean, me and Tyrant have the points. I mean, me and him both have.
Dude, have you seen the baguettes? I mean,
I know.
we've had a lot of trouble. We're not on the same page. It's a learning curve, and right now we just won our 2 most recent games in SES. It's fine, we're happy, playing Smite and stuff, having fun.
That's
the same with you, man.
That's the point I wanted to add. That makes me feel better about our losses because we're losing close games, like the Baguettes. It's not necessarily that we're playing awful. It's that we're just getting awful luck, which is definitely a part of losing. Because if you watch the Baguettes play, they lost by 1 goal to a complete Clappers team. They're a good team. Like, they should not be 1-5. And I said before we started the podcast, that's my team to look out for in the SPL because I think they're going to turn it around. 180.
Yep.
Completely.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell it's coming. I'm being the voice chat, being some sort of like, not a cheerleader, just more like a more support or and stuff. I mean, I love the guys so much. Like, the best teammates that you can do hope for. FSI obviously is just a wall emotion. Like, he can express himself, but he doesn't get affected by bad performances or doesn't showcase it. And that's what made all his other teams so strong, whether it was the Slappers or the St. Louis Storms. And of course, he's my friend, so I'm rooting for the guy. But even then, like even before when I actually met the guy, he was one of my favorites. And I don't care about baguettes. I did not care about. I do care about baguettes, but he was just like detrimental to every team he was in. So That FSI, I look up to every day, man.
Yeah, FSI's always been cool. I remember he was one of the earliest watchers of my stream way back in the day. He was asking me how I do all my stick moves and stuff.
Hacks.
Like, exactly. Like, it was way back in the day. But we started about the same time as well.
Yeah, you did.
He started about day one as well. Like, I remember seeing him on every so often.
Getting put on Noob's team was an absolute blessing because I'm sure Renard feels the same way. You'd go into pubs, when you saw him, you knew he was going to do 16,000 different things with the puck.
For sure, man.
It was a treat. And when we got drafted to this team, it was like, all right, this is going to be fun. It gave me some hope because I was definitely defeated getting picked so late.
I got signed at the very last second.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Panarin has told me that, like, because when I actually beat Panarin, and I maybe it was lying, maybe not, but CC signed me, and 30 seconds later, he actually DM'd me or something, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm with CC, mate. He was about to sign me.
Yeah.
the story could have been so much different.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was also drafted a lot lower than people were expecting me to as well.
Absolutely.
I guess it was because they thought it's because I solo queue all the time.
No,
they didn't think I would be the best fit on a team setting.
Let's be honest though, Noob.
I knew that I was a JSL caliber player at the time. I needed to be in that setting in order to be able to work on my team play, and so that's where I went. I was more than willing to play JSL, yet nobody seemed to want to pick me for that, except for CC.
The reason you didn't get top 20 is because half the GMs didn't play the game while they were drafting. Like, you think about guys like Hanky, and as good as Gubby was, he wasn't playing as much, you know what I mean? So he picked his friends. He didn't pick who was good, you know?
Yeah, man, I mean, Wallster and Gubby at the time was a powerful duo. So
yeah. No, I agree, but you see what I'm saying? Where, like,
that was a good team.
But he could have picked Noob third. You know what I mean? It's not like Noob wasn't an option. You know what I mean? Like, these guys had him easily. What did you get picked, Noob? Like 38?
I got picked. I got picked at the top of the 4th round in that draft.
No, it's like
I was honestly happy to go with whoever wanted me, and it turned out to be the very best place to go.
Yeah. You know, like the classes in high school that you do sports, like physical education or something, and all the cool boys or stuff, like they pick their teams, they pick their friends, they don't pick the best teams.
Yeah, I was usually one of the last ones picked in gym class. Not
same here.
And
Mike probably was like one of the five.
Noob got
not
flashbacks
about me not being athletic. yeah, it's like boomer flashbacks about not getting picked in high school for.
So I mean, it's the exact same thing. So we should not be surprised about this. Like, it's more. It was more than like, I would say.
Okay, all right. We're gonna move on to the questions though. We've been talking a lot. It's great stuff, but
it's so fun to reminisce about the good old days.
Yeah, it is.
Where the three of us got to be on a successful team.
But we gotta give a voice to the questions, eh?
Noob's been 80 years old since that JSL season. He's aged. All right, we'll get to the questions. So we're gonna start off with just from the top. Rodeos. What do you guys look for in a teammate? We're gonna start with our guest.
Oh damn. All right. So first of all, a great teammate. In terms of like the skills, I want someone that is defensively, you know, pro efficient. I don't want him to be too much focused on the positioning though, which is a bit paradoxical. But I want him to snipe. I really want a sniper, a really good shooter, and a good shooter can be at the top. And yeah, it's a bit ironic because I'm like I always focus on defense, but I really want someone that actually can pull that off. And Gauzy is a good guy for that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
The other thing, and I think that's the most important, is just a chemistry in general. Like someone that's not gonna bring everybody down. That's going to cheer someone up sometimes. But I also want someone to make noise when everything is crumbling down. So if you need to yell, then yeah, yell. Sometimes it's shit, and you gotta acknowledge that it's shit. So act like it. So yeah, I just want some good chemistry in general, and winning every game is not all that important yet.
All right, Noob, what about you?
Well, what I like to look for in a teammate is someone who will pass the puck, move the puck around, and get into position to catch passes and not get in your way. I also like people who have a good attitude while playing the game. Like, they don't get super toxic and rage quitty. Like, I know I deal with that a fair bit in my spare time. Rage quitty teammates. However, moving the puck around and having a good attitude, and these are all things that Mike didn't do for a while. So why was I teamed up with him? But Mike has honestly gotten a lot better at moving the puck around to his teammates. He hits some of the.
This wasn't
Mike
the roast of
hits
me.
Some
This
of
was
the best passes in the game these days.
Yeah, you can pull them off.
But yes, passing
me.
the puck around, moving the puck around is a top priority for me.
All right, for me, it's really simple. Defense, hands, and someone to motivate me not to jump off the ledge. Pretty much those three.
All right, so attitude is the thing. All right, the attitude is like it wraps. And defense, I think like it came up twice, and
yes.
Well, that's why I love Scots. He's as good as he is on offense. He is magical on defense.
Scots is amazing.
Yeah, he is. Scots doesn't get any credit for some reason by anybody, and it's like
I know. I don't understand. I just don't get it. By the way, Scots, if you hear this, we need a fifth for Smite with the baguettes. Come play with us.
No, Scots.
And for some reason, Belucha didn't start him against us in that playoff series.
Noob is gonna say that. Noob's gonna say that until he's dead. Because it's just so funny.
I will too, man. That was a big
dude, I was surprised that they didn't play Scots.
Here's the trivia question. Who did they put in instead of Scots? Does anyone remember?
I do.
Hot Wing Law?
I do.
Was it Hot Wing?
No, it was Frantic.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's funny? Frantic wasn't that bad, though, but he wasn't Scots. He wasn't anywhere near Scots.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like, we were game planning for Scots.
What was that team? Frantic...
Frantic, Meat Sale, and Rat Aids.
Wow, that was a good team.
Sale,
you imagine if Scots was
I could beat Meat Sale back in the day. That will never happen again.
Dude, Meat Sale got the Clappers.
He's a new number one.
He got the Clappers vitamins some point in season 2, and now he's playing just as well as they are because he's on a team that fits him so well. Like, he's developed into such an amazing player since joining that team.
If they put Scots in, we probably lose that series, to be honest.
It's very possible we could have lost that series with Scots on that team.
All right, let's get to the next question. And this ties into the video we're going to do after, but we'll just talk about it really quickly. I'll have you guys mostly. It's been heavily rumored that in Slapshot 2, the puck will come off the floor, which we saw in the trailer, upon shooting, hitting it hard enough. Do you think this is a good feature, and how do you think it'll change the game? This is from Kutsu, our EU friend.
Wow. Man.
How about I answer it, because you guys know too much. You guys know too much.
We do.
I think it's going to add another element of skill to the game. Now, how much do I think it's going to be skill RNG? I'm not sure. I think they need to find a good way to make it more skill-based and less RNG-based, because the reason Slapshot 1 is so good, and Noob can attest to us, we talk to it all the time, there are no player stats. Everything you do is on you. And I love that. That is what you need for competitive games. No advantages, no nothing. So, okay, next question. I don't want you guys to spoil anything. I'm talking.
Yeah, I'm
talking with two alpha testers who are sweating right now, so I need to keep moving. Question for your show: what do you think holds players back from improving once they start actually wanting to get better? And this is from our boy Chris. Renard, you want to go first?
Don't take yourself too seriously, and don't be bummed out like most people do. I do it. when things go south. Yeah, you can practice a little bit, but sometimes taking time off, like the expression practice makes perfect. I think it's overrated. I think you need to take some time off, and mental health especially.
Yes.
And like it's just a game, and as soon as you start having fun, then just keep the same recipe, and that's it.
So Renard, no breaking the keyboard, and Toshiba, no breaking the mouse, right?
Oh man, I mean, I have been hard sometimes. Like when I've played CS, especially CS, I've broken mouse. Sure.
Wait,
like
I think
life has
you
been
need
much
to
better
rephrase
that way.
that one.
Like now that I'm actually not that angry and all that stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
You said you weren't hard enough.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Okay, Noob, you're up.
All right. Well, I think what does hold people back is they try to force things too much. Like a lot of the times I see players who are good mechanically, but they can't get over the hump because they're trying to force the play rather than try to pick out an open teammate, or heck, even dump the puck if you have to. But I would much rather pass the puck. Yeah, because you'll see a lot of people try to make the super sick dangles, but once they attempt it and then they bump you bump them off the puck, and they'll be frustrated, and then they'll quit the game because you scored because you made a sweet pass play because, well, you're making pass plays and they're not.
Are you ready for mine?
Yes.
I think it's extremely simple. The reason players get stuck at basically a roadblock of never getting better is because it's so easy to dump the puck in this game. So players who get under any pressure, instead of learning how to get around people or looking for passing lanes or getting better, they prefer to just dump the puck. It's just too easy. All you have to do is swing. So instead of players actually learning the mechanics or looking at lanes or being afraid to make mistakes, they'd rather dump it, and then they just get creamed because we pick the puck back up, bring it down, and score. You know what I mean?
Yeah, being afraid of making mistakes. That's a very good point, man.
Yeah. All right. Keep moving. Don't want to take too much time. We talk a lot. I mean, we're not surprising, but my question for your podcast is, how can I improve my stick handling and confidence? I can stick handle really well in practice, but in-game I struggle to do anything without losing the puck. This is our friend from Alaska, Sean, who we believe moved to Colorado.
Wow, Sean. Sean, I believe I believe that Mike said something very important, and being afraid of making mistakes is going to hold you back. So to improve your stick handling is just to try something. A lot of 1v1s, especially with people that are tough defensively, and don't be afraid to stick handle. And I know it feels very hard. Feels very difficult. I'm sorry. When you give it a shot in pubs and stuff, but I mean, if you're from Alaska, for sure, then it's going to be tough. But there's a guy, Dennis, that is probably not my favorite guy in the game, but in terms of skills, he's absolutely amazing.
Top 3.
And he has a ping that sometimes goes over 80, 90, 100 maybe, and he's still one of the very best at the game. Even now, I think, he took some time off, he would come back and would still destroy some people. So yeah,
dominant.
Don't be afraid.
All right, Noob, what's up?
Okay. Well, Sean, you're probably going to have to move again, and this time you got to go to, I think you're going to have to go to Ohio. I think the server's in Columbus, Ohio.
I think it's in Colorado right now.
No,
I mean the server, the game server. Because Sean's in Colorado.
Okay.
Improving,
having
a better ping.
Oh my God. Noob, how do you pronounce that? Say it again.
How do I pronounce what?
Colorado.
Sean? Colorado?
No. You have such
What's
an accent.
wrong with the way I say it?
I don't know. You have like a Canadian accent with it or something. I don't know. So Renard, you say it.
Weird.
Colorado?
Oh, you have an
Renard
even
has a
Frencher
French
one.
accent.
Yeah, I mean that's normal.
You made it sound like a wine.
Very tasty. The Coors Light wine for sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, improving stick handling, like they've said before, you just try it out in game. Just try making moves. Just if you don't try, you don't learn. And there are a couple players I can point to that have really good hands while having very high ping. First one is Random Player. He lives in California. His ping averages 80 to 100 all the time. He's developed some of the better hands of anyone in the game. And another player is Roberti9. He lives in Ecuador, and he makes some really good moves. And he's probably around 150 ping as well.
One of Mav's favorite players.
Yeah, obviously. but still, those are a couple of players that have really good handling at very high pings. So it's not impossible, but it's just something you really got to work at. That you got to work at it in game. Like, you got to try it in game. Even if you look stupid doing it, just trying it out will help improve you when it comes to handling.
Okay. And oh yeah, I mean, I really can't add to what Noob and Renard said. I think we can keep moving. I think you guys both made really good points, and I think a big part of it is connection, like he said. I mean, eventually, hopefully Slap 2 is a little bit easier to move around in. If the performance is good, at least you'll have consistent performance, and that'll help with deeks. But I would say definitely like, don't be afraid to also go to guys like me or Panarin or Dream. They'll probably help you out and send you some clips of them deking and stuff and try to teach you. You know, people are very friendly. Some people are
more friendly than they appear.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually skipped a question on accident, so I'm going to go back to it. This is from our guy Rodeo again, Mr. MVP. How much do you think Slapshot is played in the mental game? I feel like I've always teamed with players with a great mental, bar a few. And it was always one of the most important parts of my teams, in my opinion. And it's a huge thing I look for in potential teammates, and would love to hear what everyone thinks.
I have one name. I'm going to pass this question afterwards. Rodeo, you and I have the same friend, and it's FSI.
Yeah. Good mental.
That's it. That's just perfect example. FSI. You need a guy like him. Moving on.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. All right, Noob.
Yeah, well, the mental game is a big one as well, because in order to make deeks work, you're faking the other player out, making them think you're going somewhere where you're not. And players who are really good at that are obviously Panarin, and another one that's really good at the mental game is Hawk. Hawk throws a lot of fake outs into a centering pass. He's so good at that. Like, the mental part is a big part of the game, whereas if it's not just fake outs, but knowing when to pass, when to shoot, or when to throw the puck backwards towards your own end, so you can reset your offense if you get stuck in a tight situation.
You guys made two separate good points. I just Noob was mentally in game, and Renard was like mentally out of the game. You know what I mean? Like having a good mental state when you're with your team, and then having one in the game where you don't freak out, you don't get nervous. You know what I mean? I think there's two different mental games. Because what Rodeo was talking about was like chat-wise, but Noob made a good point that there's also an in-game mental, you know what I mean, mind games going on. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I didn't die. All right, Renard, you okay? Oh, Renard's
dead.
No, Renard's muted for a sec. I thought I lost connection to you guys. I was like, no, but that's okay. We can keep moving along. That's okay. For your podcast, you think you can talk about who might be upcoming stars or something? Like someone who might be good enough if they play enough to become top 20 or something. I think we should make this quick. Name off 3 players who you think. For me, it's easy. It'd be Tyrant. Oscar, I think, in the new game. Because of how much he plays Noob, I think he's actually going to be a lot better. And then from what I've heard, AIA is probably my 3 guys.
Yeah, AIA is really good at Slap 2 right now.
Spoilers, woo!
Yes, AIA is good at Slap 2. That's really all I can go into it. He's actually really good at it. Anywho,
all right. From you.
All right, my players for this, I'm going to go with Timmy for one. He's someone who's really rising the ranks fast. And I feel like it won't be much longer until he's seriously considered for someone who is a top 20. Let's see. Who else can I pick? Okay, well, there's Oscar as well. I think he's another person. You know who else is another one I think could be right on the cusp of becoming a top 20 player? And this is not a troll, but Ghoul. He's someone who is improving steadily, not a lot, but he's improving steadily enough to a point where I think it's not going to be long before he actually breaks through and becomes a very good player. Like it feels like he's right on the cusp.
Renard, do you want to add
constantly.
I mean, are we talking about future top 20?
Yeah, we're talking about like players that you see up and coming that you think are on the cusp of like being a top 20. Like
I'm the closest to get there is Tyrant K, but probably like in a month, maybe a month and 2 weeks, I would see some people like maybe Quicksilver reaching that spot.
You know what's funny? Belucha and Scods weren't in the community's top 20, and neither was Noob. But I feel like
they're in mine. I mean,
I'm just saying,
is in mine.
If they just started playing, I think now people are starting to respect Scods and Belucha because we're winning. But I mean, they weren't even considered in the community's top 20, and I feel like those are two guys as well. Those are old, obviously not new names, but those are guys who I think should be there. Yeah. All right, we're gonna keep moving though. I think we're doing really well, and we got some more question. We got, I think, one more question, and this is my favorite one. I'd like to hear everyone's answer, and I'm going to go first. All right, so this is our boy Kutu again, our EU podcast. Basically, I can't wait to listen to that one, actually, because I want to hear what they have to say. But he says, I'll return the same question back, coming from an EU player. Who is, in your opinion, in the Mount Rushmore of Slapshot NA? So I'm going to go first. Mine is, and Noob didn't agree with me, it's Rodeo, Panarin, Dream, and Noob. Those are my four. I think they've all contributed in different ways to the success of Slapshot. All right, Noob, you go. Let me hear.
All right. My Mount Rushmore would have to be Belucha because, well, original dev of the game. CC, he's been, well, obviously very active in the community, one of the earliest streamers, if not the earliest streamer of Slapshot, and has consistently been a top-tier player, even though everyone seems to write him off because he's been MIA forever. Then it would have to be, hold on, what was this? Dream would be my third one. Dream was responsible for making a lot of the mods and pugs are a thing because Dream brought them into existence.
So we have Belucha, Dream. I'm trying to think. Belucha, Dream. Who was the second one?
Let's see. It was Belucha, Dream, CC, and my last one will have to be FSI.
Yeah.
Again, FSI, he was one of the commissioners for NSL Season 2, 1 and 2, and he's been one of the most active, helpful, friendly members of the community that I can think of.
All right, Renard, let's hear yours.
And I mean, I think that's the part that I think a bit disappointing is not having Irvion there.
They said NA, that's the only reason.
Yeah, Irvion's not NA.
Oh, he said NA, in NA. Okay. Alright. Then that changes the whole thing.
A little bit,
you gotta have Panarin.
Yeah.
Longest serving, not longest serving, but definitely the best player all around for the longest time.
Yep.
Then you gotta have a dev, or at least someone involved in the community. And
so
if
Belucha, right?
I mean, if I would choose between Belucha or CC, and it's not in terms of a Belucha.
Yeah, Belucha.
Belucha. Belucha for sure.
I like the way you say that too.
And now, I think you gotta have Noob. I think
Yeah.
you need to have Noob in there. So much time spent this game, having so many people joining in, being, sometimes very, very friendly and accessible, and
aged
pretty
on
much
the game.
almost every
by 100
time
years.
respectful. I mean, you're an ambassador, sure.
Yeah, that's why I put him.
Then there's one last guy. I think I gotta hand it to FSI.
Okay.
FSI has been the leading man for almost every community event or tournament. He was always involved. Still involved in another league. He was there, admin there. There is not a single league that he did not partake in, stats-wise, especially. And I'll be honest, okay, if Kodiak had made his league, and yes, I said Kodiak, ooh. If Kodiak had made his league a bit earlier, and also if the scandal did not like blow up, probably would have taken Kodiak instead of FSI, just for the magnitude of what SPL created, because it like the game is alive back again.
Yeah,
mostly
that's a good point.
Avion and Kodiak.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, so Kodiak and QW definitely deserve shout outs at least. You know,
Yeah, obviously.
for sure.
they're the ones making.
I'm
the
not
Mount
making
Rushmore.
anybody's ass right now. It's just like
But
it's a fact.
They put so much work into SPL.
The way you said it though, Renard, it makes it sound like they're the ones who kept the Mount Rushmore like in good shape. You know what I mean? They kept it standing, whereas it was about to come down, and they're like, you know what, we're gonna take this by the horns, and we're gonna keep Slap One alive, and they did that. So I agree
That's a
with
good
you.
point.
Yeah. So let's just go over our choices one more time. Mine was Rodeo, Panarin, Dream, and Noob. Noob's was
Mine was Belucha, CC, Dream, and FSI.
and Renard's was
And I had Panarin, Unoob, FSI, and Belucha.
yeah. I like our choices. I think all those choices are good fits for different reasons. To be honest,
You know who's missing from yours, Mike?
who?
Jaskon.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, Jaskon!
You forgot Jaskon, dude.
He can
He's
be
a third eye. He's everything.
yeah. He can be the second head coming off of
Jaskon's
Panarin because he's better than Panarin. They can be like conjoined twins.
Jaskon can be the guy who sculpts the Mount Rushmores.
Yeah, Jaskon
for
is
sure.
the sculptor of Mount Rushmore. He's the original meaner.
Amazing.
He won't
A
come on
big
the
shout out to
podcast, by the
Jaskon.
way. Yeah, he hates us, but that's okay. We mention him anyway every time. Okay, so that's our questions, guys. We're gonna move on to watching the trailer and talking about the trailer, which I think should be easy.
Awesome.
A little bit
I
harder
love
for
this.
you guys, but okay. So we're gonna open the link all together again.
Okay.
I think. Oh no, I didn't get an ad. Awesome. Let me know if you guys got ads, and we'll start.
No, I don't.
Awesome.
I have an
ad
ad
block.
blocker. Yeah.
I think I do too, but
I
sometimes
use
YouTube
uBlock.
like.
I use uBlock Origin.
Okay. All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
Quick play. Awesome. It's only 20 seconds, so it's not a long trailer either.
Oh, look at this stuff. I'm pretty sure it was in there.
You might have both of you, right? Oh, that's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look at this. I was in there for sure. That was insane.
So
That
I mean,
was-
it's a teaser. I keep saying trailer, but it's a teaser.
Yeah, it is a teaser, and we gotta respect that. Now we know what the real name of the next Slapshot is, and I would have preferred the Slapshot too, but the rebound thing, I think it's a good play on
Yeah, I think it sounds
words
good.
and rebounding from what Slapshot was and what happened with it. I think it's a good play with words, and
I lost Renard.
Yeah, Renard, you kind of broke up a little
Yeah,
there.
you want to say that again real quick?
Yeah, I mean, Slapshot Rebound is a good one. It's a good name considering the fact that some bad things happen with Slapshot.
Yeah, no.
Like bad thing. I mean, it's just in terms of
How it
like
died.
gameplay.
Right? Kind of, yeah, but there's a few different things. Like it kind of died out for a little bit. The main dev
Yeah.
left. like there was a lot of concern over if it was ever gonna be revived and if it was just gonna die out like other games. But obviously the community's a little too big for that to happen. So.
And rebounding from that is a good play with words. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's also a hockey
really
term,
good
so
point.
and I don't know, like
Yep.
Slapshot in general was a fun name because it's it was a movie and it's a type of shot in hockey, and then you have rebound after it. It's awesome. Like I don't know, everything's very hockey about it. I don't know, and I like that. Obviously, I love this game because it's a hockey game more so than everything else about it. It's a good hockey game. So
It is definitely the best hockey game there is right now
PC,
on the internet. And I mean, look at the puck lifting from the air. Come on now.
Yeah, let's talk about the puck lifting off the ice. Renard and I can finally talk about that.
Yeah, new physics, right?
It's a bit new physics with that. Like, we can finally talk about it because it's in the trailer.
I mean, it's refreshing. I would say that. It has so much layers and depth to the game. It's amazing.
I actually had a conversation too, which you guys will want to hear about this real quick. Is before we had the podcast, I had a real quick conversation in the morning with Chris, and we talked about how a lot of people were going to be upset because it's not going to be exactly like Slap 1, and he even admitted
it's not supposed to be exactly like Slap 1.
That's what me and Chris said. Is it's like both of us agreed that we want something new. We want change. I mean, if it stayed the same, the only audience it would garner is the people who are already here. You need people to see stuff. Yeah. One of the funniest thing about this is if you look at the comments on the trailer or the posts on Reddit or anything, the first thing people talk about is the puck coming off the ice. Like, change is so important for this game to succeed, and people need to understand that. Is if it was the exact same thing, no one would be interested. It'd be the same people.
Yeah, the puck coming off the ice would add a whole new dimension into what kind of plays you can make. Instead of your simple beep, beep, beep like you do in Slap 1, you can do a beep, beep, lift the puck up to your third player, and he can air tap it in, like you saw in that clip.
Everybody's going off about the puck going off the ice, and there is a reason. Like, this is something unheard of. Like, obviously there are so many games free that have like puck not like going off the ice, but Slapshot was at the peak of what it be, and now you're thinking that the ceiling is even higher. Like, the fucking ceiling is even higher.
It's even something that's been one of the most requested features of Slap 1.
Yeah.
Is to get the puck to lift off the ice to add more depth of play, and Slap 2 is bringing that.
Imagine,
plus it's bringing whatever benefits will come with the Unity engine.
Imagine the tip-ins. Just making a tip is going to be like considered a highlight goal. That it's how sick it could be with this whole new mechanic.
They have to add mechanics.
You know, when I learned about it, because I didn't know before I joined in. I was offered the alpha. I joined in, and as soon as I shot the puck, like, my first shot was in net because I actually, like, it lifted from the ice. Sick. Like, everybody's gonna love it. And if some people don't, like, I just have to say adapt or die. That's it.
That's and honestly, like, I've repeated it a million times, but we need something different. I gotta be honest. I think most of us do, at least. And honestly, this game's not going to get bigger if the game stays the same and just gets prettier, because people already look at it and they go, it's not beautiful. It doesn't look like NHL 20. You know what I mean? So what we need is different mechanics to make it not necessarily arcadey, but a more fun experience than just slapping the puck around on the ice, like kind of like an air hockey game, you know what I mean? That the people will glaze over that. But if you have a game where there's different types of shots and you can deflect the puck and there's new dekes or whatever, you know what I mean, or different ways to move, enough of a change that keeps people interested is basically my point. You know what I mean? New people.
Yeah, player retention is one of those things that Slap 1 has had a bit of difficulty with.
For many different issues. For many different reasons.
Apparently, the numbers for Slap 1 downloads within the first month, there were over 100,000 downloads of it, but obviously not nearly that many people stayed in Slapshot. and one of those is player retention, and perhaps the new mechanics, new ways to play will help with player retention.
I hope so. That's what really we're going. Did you guys notice anything else about the trailer? I did notice the arena having fans or whatever. That was obviously neat, and if you look closely, you can see that they have the penalty box and stuff, and the ads are back, and new goals, and everything's prettier. But I don't know if you guys noticed anything else. I think I covered it.
No, I mean, it just looks and feels better.
Yeah.
I think by the looks of it, at least.
Yeah.
So like the last goal was just a purest example of a good game mechanic. And if they work on it and keep grinding on it, we could have a fantastic free hockey game, one of the very best, if not the best, ever created. And you know what? And I think that's the best word to end my portion about it. It's a community. Like, we always come forward with new ideas, and we're not scared of sharing stuff. And I know there was a scandal about a mod and stuff, but I mean, the Clappers gang, they always share some new ideas and some new things, and to acknowledge this and, you know, create something new and fresh and fantastic, I think it's incredible. And I just cannot wait any longer.
Yeah, I really can't wait till we can get more people playing it, and then it's actually in a state where we can all play it and we like, yay, it's Slap 2, it's so much awesome.
I can add this too. In the trailer, it looks like the sticks are not attached to the bodies. Now, obviously, you guys can't say anything, but I noticed that. It's probably similar to Slap 1, but the sticks look a little bit bigger. Can you guys, I don't know, maybe you guys can confirm that, because we see it in the trailer. They do look a little bit bigger.
I mean, yeah, those are looks. So, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, and the sticks aren't attached, but I don't know. Obviously, they're still working on it, and you guys can't tell me too much, but I just thought I'd point it out.
Not until they lift restrictions about telling stuff.
Yeah.
What you see could very well disappear. We never know, man.
That's true, yeah.
It's an alpha. It's still an alpha. So, yeah.
Believe me, they have some footage of way back of this Slap 2 alpha that is not even close to what it looks like today.
Yeah, I believe that.
I'm not gonna say what it was, but I'm just gonna leave it at that there was stuff that they demoed that is completely different.
Okay, this is stuff people want to hear, so that's awesome. I'm glad you're able to share something like that, and it doesn't spoil anything, but people should expect that. I mean, it's good to see it going through changes already, because they have a few months to go. So, all right, we're going to do a send-off real quick. You guys want to have any final thoughts?
I know we should be speaking about Slap 2, but I think that a good farewell for this would be, thanks for everyone for, contributing to the game. I want to do some quick shout-outs, and that will be surprising. But a guy like Lemon Bond he's actually a cool guy, and I wish him the best in the league. And the game itself is a bit more involved, and you can see that he's actually, he's trying to enjoy that stuff. Very respectful too. So much respect for the guy, and just for everyone else, just enjoy the game, have fun, and maybe next few months you will be recognized.
Good point. All right.
Yeah,
go ahead, Noob. You go.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. It's been awesome having Renard on as our first ever guest for this podcast.
I think it's fitting. It makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's fitting. It makes sense. Renard's
it does feel
an awesome
like
guy to have around.
It does feel like coming back home, man. To be honest.
He's got lots of things to say, and if we're doing player shout-outs, let's see, who can I shout out that doesn't get shouted out that often?
Jaskon, woo, yeah, woo, Jaskon,
Jaskon. Okay, other than Jaskon, all right. Also, whatever happened to Necro, that band level 40 plus. I've seen him in game recently, like as early as this morning. And then there's Duckskin. I haven't seen him in a while. Duckskin, if you're out there, you need to come back so it makes more sense for me to pretend to be you. I can't pretend to be you if you don't play.
Yeah, there's honestly a lot of guys, Noob, that we haven't seen in forever.
Yeah, there are.
It's just
like Mixed T. Mixed T's another one that I haven't seen in forever.
I used to love playing with him because he would consistently get better too as time went on.
Yeah, you would.
Ah, it's a shame. I haven't seen him in forever. It's
also if we're shouting out players, Scary Terry, Hasek.
Yeah, your boys.
OGs. Yes, we got to shout out Scary Terry and Hasek. Those guys are cool. They're constantly running games in their party Discord, like Jackbox or Spyfall, or more recently Secret Hitler, or stuff like that.
Yeah, cool guys to hang around with, sure.
Shout out LLD. I hope you guys unretire. I know you're still mad about the backhand, but all right. I mean, we're gonna close this up though. Thank you, Renard, for coming out. It's been obviously an awesome podcast. I think people are gonna laugh their asses off at listening to us.
I hope so, man. I really do hope so. And thank you for having me. I'll come back more often.
Oh yeah, we'll have you back. There's no way we're not. This was too like enjoyable and funny. it's been funny. All right, I'm gonna close it out now, guys. Thanks for listening, and hopefully for our third podcast we have even more Slap news about Slap 2. So see you later.